I presume you're here in order to learn of Magecraft. I'll have you know, there's no room for the weak-willed in this course, and despite your best efforts, the sorcery of our time is but a fraction of what it once was in the Age of Gods. Much of the craft is established through pedigree, and the culture of mages is riddled with deception and moral depravity. That said, if you insist, I shall do my best to educate you in this miserable, yet fascinating world. In our previous lesson, I spoke of many ways in which Magecraft has been used for evil. Given the grim and selfish nature of mages, such applications are par for the course. However, that doesn't mean Magecraft can't be used for good. There are many examples that subvert the negative stigma attached to Magecraft, and of course, I'd like to share them with you today. Sometimes, even an otherwise evil mage can wind up redeeming themselves to an extent. Honestly, any great power brings forth a burden of responsibility. There's a concept wherein certain mages police the activities of their peers. Kiritsugu Emiya, for instance, may have worked with his mentor Natalia Kaminsky to make a living, but his true motive was more heroic. Upon seeing what havoc an evil mage can bring, he made it his mission to eliminate nefarious mages through force. Taking bounties and exploiting sealing designations were just a means to an end from his perspective. Many of Kiritsugu's techniques fall outside the realm of Magecraft, taking advantage of the modern technology mages often reject. For tougher opponents, however, he relied on time alteration and origin bullets. Combat-oriented spells like that are merely a tool, with no inherent ethical alignment. Still, so long as you abide by the merits of vigilante justice, Kiritsugu's work as the mage killer counts as a force for good. Other mages happen to be selectively evil. We've mentioned Kirei Kotomine many times before. The corrupt priest had an inherently wicked nature, prompting him to enjoy death and misery. His crowning evil was the attempted awakening of Angra Mainyu, through which he hoped to welcome new life at the expense of mass destruction. In contrast, he was known to help people, so long as he found the results interesting. His healing magecraft saved lives, like that of Sakura Mato after her body was ravaged by worms and a fragment of the corrupt Holy Grail. Perhaps Kirei merely wanted to watch her struggle, but I'd argue the interaction was a net positive. Thankfully, healing is a very common practice for mages. Rin Tosaka had no obligation to revive Shiro Emiya when Lancer pierced his heart. Doing so came at a great expense, and yet she proceeded when more arrogant mages would have simply let her die. Fortunately, Shiro was charming enough to endear both Rin and her sister, making his loss an especially tragic one. I can't fault that. We all have people we treasure more than others. The three great mage families, Ainsburn, Makiri, and Tosaka, invented the Holy Grail War system as a means of reaching the root and reclaiming the lost magic of Heaven's Feel. They sought to materialize human souls so they could exist independently from the mind and body. Normally, a soul severed from its body gets reabsorbed into Akasha, but Heaven's Feel prevents that final step. Even after dying, then, one could still exist as a materialized soul, free from pain and despair. In that regard, Heaven's Feel enables a form of immortality, and by extending that immortality to the entire world, these mages hoped to create a utopia on Earth. Regarding timelines where the Greater Grail is stolen from Fuyuki, Shiro Amakusa Tokisada attempted to harness the Grail for essentially the same reason. To this, I argue their intentions were certainly benevolent, though the implications are only subjectively so. Souls feel neither pain nor pleasure, both of which are considered vital for the human experience. The benefit of immortality then comes into question, enough for opposition to emerge. Thus, the best use of Heaven's Feel seems to be in isolated, localized bursts. When Shiro Emiya lost his life putting an end to the Greater Grail, his soul was materialized long enough for a replacement body to be made. While I don't think Toko Aozaki is up to the challenge of making enough spare bodies for everyone, preserving someone's life is an impressive feat, even when the recipient has a penchant for dying. To be fair, Shiro puts himself in harm's way to protect others. His reinforcement spells have saved him when trying to endure an enemy's onslaught. Every time he lives to see another day, he goes on to protect someone else. He's also demonstrated how tracing objects makes it easier for him to repair them. Keeping a heater running, even just an hour longer, could make the difference between life and death. Even in less severe circumstances, said repairs help keep costs down and are better for the environment than replacing hardware entirely. Swords may not be the most versatile tool, but Shiro has been seen projecting other objects as well. I'm sure he could materialize life-saving equipment during an emergency, so long as he does it in secret. Based on their name, one might expect the mystic eyes of death perception to only bring about people's deaths. How naive. These powerful eyes can see and bring about the death of concepts, such as illness. Shiki Ryogi once used hers to strategically kill Fujino Asagami's appendicitis. She also vanquished the violent wraiths trying to possess her body. The eye's potential applications are far-reaching. What are its limits? Fujino's ordeal left her blind, but could Shiki go back and kill that blindness? Even if the answer is no, Shiki saved someone who would otherwise have certainly perished. As an extension of Magecraft, heroic spirits can have benevolent traits. Tawara Tota immediately comes to mind. His skills as a warrior could certainly protect those in need, but more uniquely, the legend where he obtained an unending bag of rice manifests in an ability to feed entire villages. What other food items can mages produce? Is there a risk to consuming projected or otherwise crafted meals? I suppose it depends on the specific spell or ability. Potions, for instance, are a common product of Magecraft. Many of these potions can bring about horrible curses, but others are famous for their healing potential. The Greek hero Asclepius once made the blood of Medusa, aka the Gorgon monster, into a potion of immortality. It could literally resurrect the dead. If such a thing could be reproduced, it would alter the entire course of human history. It's debatable if such a potion could have survived past the Age of Gods, but even if it could, that chance was lost to us. Death played an important role in Greek mythology. Without the death of humans, Hades' underworld would have lost its purpose, and so Zeus had Asclepius struck down by a sudden, cruel thunderbolt. Sometimes, a merciful end can be seen as benevolent. Ghosts and wraiths often linger in malice, refusing to return to the root. While gravekeepers like Gray may vanquish these spirits out of self-defense, one could argue they're doing the deceased a favor. Spirits miserably lingering on may finally find peace through exorcism. This saves not only the ghost, but also any of its potential victims. The Holy Church may have its share of corruption, but the hunting of heretics carries with it a sense of justice. Let us not forget the value of mystic codes. Devices invented through Magecraft can benefit the lives of even non-mages. Shiki Tono used to suffer from an inability to control his mystic eyes. However, by wearing the Mystic Eye Killers, he can live normally, so long as he steers clear of any vampires. Even though Aoko stole those glasses, I'd like to believe it was a kind gesture. Fiore Forveg Yigidamillennia has been wheelchair-bound most of her life. Yet, her bronze link manipulators reinforce her frail body so she can hold her own in battle. Sure, they rely on her mana to function, but imagine other disabled children who could use Magecraft to power artificial limbs. If Magecraft weren't so secretive, young mages could use it to overcome their disabilities. It would also allow mages to openly aid their ordinary kin. A benevolent mage could gift an ordinary human something like the bronze link manipulators, and even connect themselves as its power source. Unfortunately, the concealment of mystics is a rule we must enforce, as without it, Magecraft cannot survive in the modern era. It is an ironic limitation. It should go without saying that attempting to save the world is a kind gesture. There are some mysterious, extenuating circumstances afoot, but the Chaldea Security Organization, at its heart, earnestly strives to protect all of humanity. Some may say our world's end is inevitable, but nonetheless, there are brave mages willing to fight for our collective survival. Atlas alchemists also try to overcome the end of the world, though to them it's like a fascinating puzzle to solve. Still, the fact that they enjoy it doesn't make it any less benevolent, so long as their solutions aren't controversial. Their work has sometimes resulted in the creation of powerful superweapons that, ironically, can wipe out the world rather than save it. Tragically, a mage's goodwill can result in evil depending on your perspective. The demon god Hivemind Gatia had a genuine desire to improve the world by reinventing humans without the concept of death. To accomplish this, however, it needed to incinerate human history and start from scratch, causing uncapped devastation in the process. In the end, the very humans it sought to improve rejected its efforts, fighting to return Earth to its prior state. In another sense, one could argue that mages are simply trying to avert crises that Magecraft was responsible for to begin with. This concern is valid, though I don't think it's fair to blame Magecraft for all of humanity's problems. Ethical matters must always be investigated with the proper context and not judged in broad strokes. In summation, Magecraft can be used for both good and evil. Pursuing the root is often a selfish endeavor through which mages bring great harm to the world, but it also serves to inspire mages who seek a utopian ideal. Plenty of individual spells and magical tools are capable of improving people's lives, whether that be a power to vanquish evil, mercifully end one's suffering, or heal one's physical ailments. I'm sure much of Earth's strife is caused by Magecraft, requiring even more Magecraft to fix it, but I refuse to discount all the ways our craft has been a net positive on the world. I hope you consider the ethical implications of your own endeavors. For our next lesson, I want to take a closer look at something we've mentioned in the past. Void, or imaginary number space, is a bizarre phenomenon that mages have exploited in various ways. I aim to shine a spotlight on how this space functions, at least to the very best of our current understanding. Thanks for watching. This channel relies on support from viewers like you.
Please help us out by dropping a like and comment. Subscribe for more videos, and be sure to enable notifications. Or hit up our Discord so you never miss out on a new upload.
Most importantly, if you can spare it, please sign up as a channel member, either through YouTube, Patreon, or Subscribestar. You can find links in the description. We've got perks like exclusive content or early access.
Until next time,
Celebrate your fandom. I want to give a special shout out to all my $10 and up supporters: Video Gamer 75, Dante Pendragon, Stephen Elak, Otaku Mom, Mystic Samurai 1983, Free Brick, Alexis Yukio Gomez Yamato, Lunarworks, Link Pendrago, Observer Bellis, James Hewitt, Uncanny EXP, Crow Calum, Sal Soto, Major, Winter's Edge, Sneer Cachette, Sunbro Torian, Dionysus, Caitlin P, Sogai CH, Sith Lord 906, Vladimirovna, The Taz 96, Kango X 77, Alistair Bernadotte, and Ryzen 99. Thank you all so much.